Yo, what's going on, everybody? It should be OY Between the Game Sports, back with another great topic. But before we get into all that, y'all know the drill. Please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and hit that bell button for those notifications. But let's jump right into it. The big elephant in the room of the NBA world is Kyrie Irving right now. As y'all all know, Kyrie is a different type of dude. He thinks differently. He moves differently. He has his own way of doing things. And so today the news is that there are reports of him saying that he will retire. Think about that. Saying that he will retire at the age of 29 if he gets traded away from the Brooklyn Nets. Now, I just really don't get it. Only he knows. But they are saying that his camp, his agents are saying that if he gets traded, he will retire from the NBA. And Kyrie, he's basically retired already. I really feel he has 1 foot out the door and 1 foot in. He hints about those kind of things all the time about maybe leaving early if things don't go his way. But Kyrie is an actually smart guy. If you just kind of listen to him talk and observe how he moves and the things that he does, he's a smart guy. And so the question is he really, really ready to retire if he gets traded? Is he really, really mentally there to be prepared to be counted on by his Brooklyn teammates? And here's the kicker for me. I don't understand why the Brooklyn Nets will even be considering trading Kyrie Irving when they even had a full season with that trio of guys that they have in Kevin Durant and James Harden and himself. So why would they even be listening to anyone talking about trading Kyrie? And there are talks about him being traded to the Sixers, and since the Sixers are trying to get rid of Ben Simmons, and I just don't think that works. Ben Simmons hasn't shown the ability to make shots or be highly, highly productive in the playoffs when things slow down. And we all know he's great in open court. I mean, he's great. But when the playoffs come and things slow down, he's just not there. He just can't get it done. And the Nets shouldn't be in panic mode because they were one Kevin Durant foot away from being in the finals. And Kyrie wasn't there. James Harden wasn't there. Let me rephrase that. I believe Kyrie was there. James Harden wasn't there. And we know James Harden is going through rehab right now. He's still working on his hamstring and things of that nature. I just saw a video of him getting on some local Houston kids about, working hard and breaking out a sweat when they're doing training. And people are laughing like, here's a guy who gets in the NBA and doesn't work hard. We don't see what he goes through when the cameras are not on. This is why I have this channel called Between the Game Sports. We don't know what they're going through when the cameras are not on. So I don't understand why the Nets will be trying to trade Kyrie. And maybe their thought process is that he is 1 foot out the door already. Maybe that's their thought process. And maybe they're trying to see what they can get for him. And I don't know if Ben Simmons is the answer. But this is more about Kyrie. Again, Kyrie is a smart guy. I don't think he says anything without thinking about it. But at the age of 29, for him to come out and say he will retire if he gets traded, and I'm trying to figure out that thought process again. I'm not in his brain, so I don't know. And as I just stated, I'm pretty sure he says things with thoughts behind it. It's not just him just being emotional and throwing it out there. But he did get in a little dispute with Nick Wright of Fox Sports, I believe, and I'm gonna put that up here for a second. I really appreciate those who are, in here listening to me ramble about this kind of stuff. But Kyrie just again he got into it with Nick Wright over Twitter, and he ended up calling him a puppet. And I'm gonna put that up here real quick. As y'all can see, Nick Wright says there are a handful of Kyrie trades that potentially make sense for the Nets. Kyrie's agents have made it known that Kyrie would simply retire from the NBA if Brooklyn were to trade him. Dang, I can't read. And then Kyrie responds with a puppet. And we all know how these NBA players feel about most of these analysts and commentators. They feel like they don't have a thought for themselves, or their network is speaking for them. And so I can see why Kyrie has this response. But is Nick Wright right? Is Nick Wright right? Again, man, I appreciate those who are in here. If you would like to call in, there's the number right there, 936-337-1388. And, give your thoughts about what do y'all really think if Kyrie decides to retire early. There will be people calling him a quitter, i.e. Simone Biles type stuff, saying that he's not mentally tough, he's mentally weak, he can't handle the pressure. But I lost my train of thought. But for Kyrie, he can handle pressure when it comes to playing the game. That's where I was trying to go, because we've seen him perform on the biggest stage in the NBA Finals, and we know that he hit that big shot when the game was stagnant in Game 7 versus Golden State in Oracle Arena. We know he can deliver when those big moments are up. But there's more to being an athlete more to being a pro athlete, because media is going to come. You got people like me talking about it. You got all types of folks giving their opinions. So you have to be able to be mentally tough, not only on the court, but off the court as well. So Kyrie saying that he will retire at 29 if he gets traded, maybe he can't handle that. Maybe he doesn't fully understand that the NBA is a business, and teams' loyalty is very, very rare. Right? Their loyalty is them making a championship run. Their loyalty is putting people in the seats. Their loyalty is about winning. So if the Nets feel that Kyrie Irving is more productive somewhere else and believe in Ben Simmons, then that's going to happen. That trade talk is going to happen. And Kyrie has been in the league too long not to understand this concept. So for me, my personal opinion, if he decides to retire, I'll believe that he is actually just quitting the game of basketball. He's quitting all the stuff outside of playing basketball. So I'm pretty sure if it happens, people are going to call him a quitter, and he's going to come out and make a statement. Matter of fact, he may not even make a statement. I don't think he likes speaking to the media. And again, if y'all in here, man, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell button for those notifications. I know it's Thursday night football. The Bucks, I'm sorry, not the Bucks. That was last week. You got the Giants and the Washington football team. They're getting ready to come on. But I just wanted to talk about this topic real quick. Again, the big elephant in the room of the NBA world is Kyrie Irving. There's a rumor saying that he will retire if he gets traded from the Nets. And again, here's Nick Wright response and to those rumors, saying that his agents and the people around him saying that he will retire, and Kyrie ended up calling him a puppet in his response. So y'all let me know if I'm right or wrong about this. I really believe if he decides to retire, he'll just be he's a quitter. He will be a quitter instead of just pushing through and understanding that the game of basketball, the NBA world is a business. It's not about feelings. If they cared about feelings, they would never trade a player. If they cared about feelings, they would never cut a player. If they cared about feelings when somebody tried out for them, they will keep them. This ain't about feelings. This is a business. And Kyrie Irving should know better. As intelligent as he is, as well spoken as he is, as long as he's been in the NBA, he should know these things come along with being a NBA player. And I don't want nobody to take it as me getting on him. I'm just giving my thoughts. I'm just speaking out about it a little bit. So this is nothing personal. This is just my thoughts and my observation. And we all know the big thing nowadays in sports is players have to understand their mental health. And that's great. That's great. I believe taking care of yourself is first and most important. But what Kyrie is showing right here, if those statements are true, this is more of emotional response. And again, this is just hearsay, she say, but people around his camp are reportedly saying that he will retire. Retire at the age of 29, still so much left to go. And he wouldn't be the first athlete to do it. Calvin Johnson is the most recent I can think of for the Detroit Lions. He ended up retiring because he just couldn't do it anymore with that organization, the Detroit Lions. He couldn't do it anymore with them. So he wouldn't be the first. Barry Sanders is another. He did it with the Lions. The Lions organization, my goodness. So you have two guys who were in their primes and decided to call it quits because of the organization wasn't getting it done. In Kyrie's situation, he will retire and quit because he gets traded. I just don't know if that's a good look for him, but if he does, we know that he's going to be fine because he's a smart man. He has a family, I believe. So he will be fine. But as a fan, this is me speaking as a fan, I will hate to see it because I really, really enjoy watching him play. He is one of the best ball handlers I've ever seen. He's up there. Most people have him as number one. You have people like Jamal Crawford and Kenny Anderson and the Steph Currys of the world. He's one of the best ball handlers I've ever seen. And it will be sad for me as a fan to see him go over something that he should understand that the NBA is a business. But who am I to judge a man for his decisions? I can look out on it and give my thoughts, but it doesn't matter what I think. In the end, it has to do with him. Ghost 007, what's going on, Man, just out here speaking about Kyrie Kyrie be too spiritual, and sometimes it can do more harm than good than being too spiritual. uh, you can outthink yourself. Instead of something being simple, you can overthink it and look at it as a cosmic sign or a universal sign or something of that nature when it's just something so simple. And I've been blabbering and yapping for a good 15 minutes now, but Kyrie should know this. It's a business in the NBA. So I really would like to hear him speak out about it and saying that, it is just a rumor. But if it's not just a rumor, I would like him to address it so me as a fan can get an understanding. Because like I've been saying, I would hate to see him go. It's a beautiful thing to watch him play this game. Coach 007 says Kyrie spiritually be too much. At least the Buddhist monks have sense, not him. um, yeah, I guess so. But sometimes Kyrie has, from what I hear, he has converted to the Islamic faith, and they think differently. And we see that, during the playoffs, everybody was like, "What's wrong with Kyrie?" And if he had, the rumor was that he converted over to the Islamic faith. And we know during the playoffs, that's the time when they have, I believe it's called a Ramadan, where they're basically fasting for weeks. And so he lost a lot of weight. Energy was there, but he still was able to play at a high rate. So, maybe this thought process right here is saying that his faith is bigger than the game of basketball. Maybe he wants to spend more time studying and learning about the Islamic faith. Coach 007, man. Gotta leave that. At least Dilly has common sense, man. Kyrie got common sense, man. He's just different. And then the world a lot of times don't understand different. Oh man, you wild. But the world a lot of time doesn't understand different. And so maybe that's it for Kyrie. Maybe it's just his faith and his thought process is no longer with the game of basketball. And I think that's why Brooklyn may be entertaining suitors for Kyrie because, again, I feel like a lot of times he's 1 foot in and 1 foot out the door when he's healthy. Right? His availability is always in question. He has not really been durable his whole career. Before LeBron, during his time with LeBron, he was available. And then now since he's been away with Brooklyn and the Celtics, his availability is hardly there. Right? And the Celtics made it to the Eastern Conference Finals without him. And then Brooklyn, they perform well without him. So as a Brooklyn Nets manager or GM, you have to go ahead and think about it like, why are we continuing to wait on this guy and have his availability in question? As my pops would always say, your availability is your best asset. Goes 007, Kyrie guy. Yeah, he's one of the most talented dudes to ever pick up a basketball at the guard position. I mean, it's amazing what he can do with the basketball in his hands. And he's a big shot maker. There are dudes who can make shots, but he's a big shot maker. So me as a fan hearing this rumor about him wanting to retire, it hurts me because I love watching him play. But offensively, he's great, but defensively, it's a yikes. Yeah, Kyrie can't guard. He can't guard me right now, and I'm old and decrepit. Right? He can't guard a chair at times, and this is why teams put him in a pick and roll to get that switch. He's a very, very talented offensive guy, but and defensively, he is a liability, but his offense is so great, you cannot keep him off the court. You can't keep him off the court. I was a catch and shoot guy from the corner back in the day, shooting that mid range like PJ Tucker. Yeah, but PJ Tucker found his niche. He was a guy who was out the league, undersized, power guy. I can't even call him a power forward, but undersized guy. He found his niche, being able, and he got in the right system playing with the Rockets. Um, so shout out to PJ Tucker. He found his role and he excelled at it, being able to make the corner three, being able to defend multiple positions. And unlike Kyrie, his availability was never in question. PJ Tucker, I think he had a streak of playing 400 or 500 games in a row without having an issue. And then he goes off to Milwaukee and he wins a championship. So PJ Tucker is a great story. Kyrie nasty though, yeah, he is. I have a feeling Kyrie be doing those spiritual drugs like hey, if he was doing those type of drugs, the NBA would know, man. I would hope they would know. Uh, but he's a very spiritual guy. He's into a lot of things. He's into understanding like the dark arts as they call it. He's into burning what it's like sage. You seen him when he went back to Boston. He was trying to get rid of those evil spirits. And uh, again, when you hear him talk, you know that he's very, very intelligent. The way he carries a conversation, the way he's able to answer questions from reporters and then turn around and ask those same reporters questions that leaves them baffled. So I'm really, really surprised to see uh, these reports saying that he wants to retire. So that's unlike him because I feel like if he has something to say, he will come out and say it. So these rumors and reports is different for me. Like I follow Kyrie a lot, so it's like it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. And again, man, y'all, if y'all on Facebook, please like and share. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then hit that bell button for me, man. I really appreciate those jumping in here. I know it's Thursday night football, the football game's coming on, and the football always trumps anything else that's going on in the world, seems like. But I just had to get this out real quick. Can't stand Kyrie. He's weird. Yeah, he I try not to call people weird anymore. He's just different. He moves in it. He moves to his own beat. We all have our quirks and weird phases and things that people don't understand. But that's the beauty of this world. That's the beauty of all of this. If we can be different and still have an understanding for someone else, still have a love for someone else, then that's how it's supposed to be. That's the beauty of it. That's what it's supposed to be like. But this world and this nation doesn't always seem to agree. Again, rumors are, I will put it back up. Excuse me. Here is the tweet that came out, and Nick Wright. Y'all know Nick Wright, big LeBron lover, and he's hearing things from people saying Kyrie will retire if he gets traded. And then Kyrie turns around and calls him a puppet. So that's it in a nutshell. Y'all let me know if I'm right or wrong. All right. If 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 it does come out that he is not willing to be traded and he'd rather just retire, y'all come back to this video. See if I'm right or wrong. But I would love to hear his thoughts about this rumor. I would love to hear him, clarify things, and I would love to see him and hear him speak about the truth of why he will retire if he does. And that's all I really got to say, man. I appreciate those who jumped in here real quick. I know it's a busy Thursday night. Again, please like and share if you're on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, hit that bell button. Find me on all social media platforms at Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I even got a TikTok now, but I'm still trying to figure that out. Y'all find me at Between the Game Sports on all social media platforms. Here to try to grow this thing and keep putting out good content. Please, after this drops, y'all go to the comments, leave your thoughts for me. And as I always do when I end these things, on your best day, be better. Think about it. Until next time, it's Between the Game Sports. I'm out. Peace.